Hello and welcome to all our matcha lovers out there. Now, if any of you have been to our cafe, if any of you know me personally, you will know I'm a huge matcha addict. I admit it. I wear matcha, I drink matcha, I eat matcha, I wash my face with matcha, I do everything with different forms of matcha. Why? Maybe because the caffeine doesn't affect me as badly as coffee does. Maybe because of all the health benefits I find from matcha personally. Maybe because it has 10 times, yes you heard that, 10 times the amount of antioxidants that you would find in a cup of green tea. First things first, what are the types of matcha out there and what is different? And why does 1 kilogram of matcha cost 7 pounds while another 20 or 30 gram of matcha cost 14 pounds? Why all these differences? Well, I'm glad you asked that question, or at least I'm glad I'm asking it for you. So, there are 3 types. There are 5 or more types of matcha, but today we will discuss 3 types of matcha. The first type of matcha we will discuss is Culinary Matcha. Now, this is what you would get when you buy matcha cakes or matcha that is used in food, and it's perfect for that kind of purpose because it has a very strong taste. It stands its grounds when it's used with other things like vanilla or other essences or flour or so on, or oils, and it's not overwhelmed by these tastes. So culinary matcha is best used in culinary baking, cooking and so on with matcha. Now, as the name will probably imply and my explanation of that, it would be one of the cheapest forms of matcha to buy. The next type of matcha we will discuss is premium grade. Now, some people disagree on this being an actual grade, an official grade, but for the sake of keeping it simple, we will discuss it. So premium grade is what people also refer to as cafe matcha or cafe grade matcha. Now, I personally disagree with that because we don't use that grade when we serve you matcha in Yummzy, but I will explain that later. This premium grade is not as bitter as the culinary grade, but at the same time, it's not as subtle and sweet as the ceremonial grade, which is the next grade we will discuss. However, premium grade still works out economically or financially well for whoever is using it. This grade can come very easily at 1 kilo for between 10 to 20 pounds. And again, this is not the highest grade of matcha, and a lot of cafes use premium grade, and they either mix it with a bit of vanilla essence, or they mix it with a little bit of cinnamon, or they mix it with a little bit of sugar. Matter of fact, a lot of the big chains in the UK, cafes, they use about 40% to 20% sugar when they serve you a premium matcha. Now, people might think, oh, I hate matcha once they try it in one of the big chains. And then many of these people, when they came to our cafe, they said, oh wow, but your matcha tastes so different. Yes, because we don't use premium grade and we don't put sugars to bulk it up and reduce our cost, although it's not the most expensive grade. Premium grade is what we actually use in our cakes, and that's why many customers come back saying, but your matcha cakes, they're so delicious. They're not sweet, but they're not bitter either. They're just the perfect balance. This is our secret. We use what people call cafe or premium grade in our cakes themselves. Now we will discuss the last type of matcha, which is ceremonial grade. Now you can see from my equipment here, this is what we would use in a matcha ceremony. Before I go into that, you'll be happy to know we're not going to do a matcha ceremony today because I'm not a matcha ceremonial master. So I'm going to put this away so I don't end up knocking it off. But why is ceremonial grade different? So ceremonial grade is much higher in chlorophyll, other vitamins and minerals. As a matter of fact, it's the most nutritious type of matcha out of all the matchas out there. It has a very sweet and delicate flavor. Now, if all matchas are just matcha, how do we make this ceremonial grade so amazing? Well, the good news is we don't make it. However, the farmers in Japan who are making this, they do it in a specific way to ensure that the taste, the nutritious values, and all of this is locked in perfectly well. So the matcha we use in Yummzy, which you can also buy from us directly rather than us making it for you as a cup of tea, was actually grown in very specific farms. And when they are grown, once they have overcome germination, the whole plantation is covered with bamboo. This is what is known as shade grown. So all ceremonial matcha are actually shade grown. As you can see from the picture here, you can see that ceremonial matcha is very vibrant green, almost lime green in vibrancy, while the other matcha varieties will be a little bit on the darker, either dark green or maybe a little bit of brown or a little bit of yellow is in there. These matchas, even the premium variety, they would not be able to sell them to you directly and get the same outcome as ceremonial matcha because, as I mentioned, they need to be either infused with a bit of vanilla or a bit of sugar or a bit of this or a bit of that. And that's why many people say, I hate matcha. Once they try the matcha we make, they say, oh wow, this is totally different from the matchas I've tried. Now, in today's video, I'll be showing you how to make a simple matcha latte. We do make it as a latte. A lot of people have told us you're wasting money using ceremonial matcha in your lattes. It's not a waste of money. Every time we heard a customer say, I love matcha and I used to hate it. And that for us has been a huge success. So I'll show you how we make our easy, quick lattes and I'll show you different variations. I'll talk through different variations of making it and show you how to make it the way I like it. Let's get started. Quick and dirty ceremonial grade matcha. I know the words don't agree, but here we go. So the milk, I've personally, for my taste, I enjoy using almond and coconut milk mixed together. So this is almond and coconut milk. I've put it in the microwave just to heat it up. What you can do if you will have more time before work, I usually have 3 minutes, so I need to get ready and do everything in 3 minutes. But you can fill just this much with water, hot water, but not boiling water. Why? Because matcha will not taste the same if you put it above 80 degrees Celsius. So please don't use boiling water. So you can put this much water, mix it with the whisk, and then add the milk that you like to make your latte. In my case, I'm in a rush, so I just put all the milk and I stuck it in the microwave for 30 seconds, took it out. I'm going to use my ceremonial matcha. It's important to keep your matcha away from light because that way it stays better. So no light and no air for your matcha. That's why we store it in small tins that look like this. I'm going to take about 1/3 of a teaspoon and add it to my matcha. Now, it depends how strong you like your matcha. You might want to have it stronger. I'm going to close this tin quickly because I don't want any light or any air going into my matcha. I'm going to add a bit of my favorite stevia for drinks. Again, because I'm in a rush, so I'm using the on-the-go pack. And I will whisk it all together. So I am going to add a little bit more matcha because I like my matcha to be very vibrant. That's done. And I love the color, I love the foam. I shall enjoy my matcha latte with my matcha cupcake. See you in the next episode, guys. I am going to take about 1/3 or about 1/3 of this. Stop. Stop! What are you laughing at? So this now makes it, instead of 1/3, it makes it a generous 1/3. Oh, it's recording? Sorry. Okay.